Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial, as you've seen from that beautiful thumbnail, is this gorgeous star baby blanket, I'm going to say. And that's the back, dang it. I want to first start off this video with apologizing. It's a beautiful, beautiful 70 degrees outside, so we have our windows open. And that means every sound outside you can probably hear. There's a business next to us that has a little forklift and they're constantly going. And then you got my wind chime, and then you got the birds, the cats, squirrels, all kinds of stuff making sounds. Anyway, back to the tutorial. This is what we're working on today. This adorable starred baby Afghan. I'm so excited. I loved this set. I loved this set. Beautiful. And super, super easy. The pattern is a 2-row repeat. And the only reason it's 2 is because of the color change. And the basis of this pattern is the same as a chevron. We got our peaks and our valleys, our peaks and our valleys, and our peaks and our valleys, and so on and so forth, okay? So let's just get right into what you're going to need. Oh, I need to give you the measurements of this baby blanket. Okay, so mine measures, this is the little sample we're going to work, from peak to a valley, 56 inches, and then the same across. The reason being is because the peaks are going to get real tall, right? But the main part of the baby blanket isn't 56 inches. You guys will see once you get working with yours. Okay, you're going to need... Now, I have had this yarn for a very long time. I do not know if they still have these colors, but I used 2 skeins of each. This is what's left of my second skeins. Craft Smart Never Enough. And this is the color purple. There's 716 yards. I used 1 full and then this much of a second. And then for the variegated color, I used Craft Smart's Never Enough, 601 yards. Purple, violet, morado. I have no idea. Anyway, so I used 2 of those, and this is what I have left of the second, because the reason there's such a difference is because I used more of the purple since the last 2 rows are purple. All right, so I love this pattern mainly because it's a good way to use up your variegated. Now, variegated meaning the yarn is a fast, choppy color change, right? Let me get this out. See how fast those colors change? Boom, 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 right? Now, a striped, in my opinion, you guys do whatever you want to do. A striped yarn, it's just completely going to take away from the star of the pattern, right? So I suggest, and you can do 2 solid colors. You guys do whatever you want to do. I just highly recommend. I love the solid variegated, solid variegated, solid variegated. You can have a lot of fun going to all these yarn stores and picking out a variegated and solid matching colors, right? So so for the striped, well, let's do the math real quick. Obviously, I'm not going to do it in my head. I am not that smart or that quick. Come on. I'm trying to get it to come up on my computer, and it's not coming up. Well, go figure. So, alrighty, it finally came up. So you're going to need, on your variegated, you're going to need roughly 1,202 yards. So I'd say get 1,200 and 1,200 yards. 1,200 yards of your variegated, and of your solid, right? 716 minus 2, 1,400 yards. So I would get 1,400 yards of your solid and 1,200 yards of your variegated. Okay, so get your yarn colors and get all my stuff out of the way. All right, get your yarn, and then you're going to need Oh, I bought my camera. Trying to reach all my stuff. You're going to need a 5.5 millimeter hook, and that's completely up to you. If you guys are more comfortable with the 6 millimeter, go with the 6 millimeter. That's not going to change the size of this blanket by half of a millimeter. It's not going to hurt anything. I just used this because it's what I had next to me. A 6 millimeter is going to be roughly the same. Not exactly, but pretty much. Get you a yarn needle because you are going to have quite a few ends to weave in. And then, you know, your normal pair of scissors. And now I want to talk about the aspect of peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys. Because it's the same on a chevron, right? For the chevron tutorials that I've done, you have a peak and you have a valley. You have a peak and you have a valley. So for this star Afghan, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I said Afghan, baby blanket. We have 5 points and 5 valleys, or peaks, I should say. We have 5 peaks and 5 valleys, okay? So I know that it is very, very confusing for some people to be able to keep track of the valleys, and I understand that. I'm not judging at all, not at all. So one way that I think will really help is if you get 5 stitch markers and keep track of your valley stitches, which you'll see in the pattern what they are, and then just move them up as you go. And then after a while, you're going to be able to spot them by yourself without having to use the stitch markers. Okay? You guys will understand what I'm talking about when you work the pattern. So then we have, that's our valley. We just skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, and just repeat that up. And then for the peaks, it's just 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, the entire pattern, okay? And that's it. I mean, it's just that easy, and it creates just this beautiful, eye-catching, where did I put it? Oh, I laid it out to measure it. It creates that beautiful Afghan, okay? So, get your guys' supplies together, and let's get started on this. Okay, before we get started, I forgot to add, don't forget to check out the description box where the links for the matching pillow, baby blanket, the dress, and everything else is going to be in the description box, okay? So check that out so you don't miss the matching pillow and dress. All right, now let's get started. Okay, to get started, let's get a slip knot on our hook. Make sure we have plenty of tail so we can weave it in. That's a good length. Get a slip knot, and we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come around, slip stitch into that very first chain, and that's going to form a ring. Now if you look, there's a little ring right on top of it, and what that is, see it right there? What that is that first chain. So if you take your tail and just pull it tight, it'll close that that chain up, and then you can see your ring really good. All right, so I'm going to work over my tail. So I'm going to lay it down I'm going to lay my tail down with my ring and chain 1. So we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 3 into our ring. So yarn over, go in. There's 1, working over my tail, 2, 3, chain 3. So that's 1 chain 3 point. We need 5. So we start it again, 3 double, chain 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3, chain 3. There's 2, 1, 2, and we need 5, so we do it again. 3 double, 1, 2, 3. Give me some slack. Chain 3. There's 3. So work our 3 double. I'm scooting everything around. Work my 3 double, chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, chain 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have one more set to work. 3 doubles. 2 and 3, chain 3. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So go ahead and slip stitch into the very first double crochet. You can see the top of the stitch is facing to you, whereas the other ones are facing up. This one's tilted a little. Right there is where we want to slip stitch into. And that is the end of row 1. So I'm going to pull that tail. I'm going to weave it in a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, to move on to round 2, we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. Slip stitch into that next double crochet, and then slip stitch into the first chain 3. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go right back into that chain 3 space with 3 double, chain 3, 3 double. 1, 2, 3, chain 3. I'm just going to scooch it over a little. Right back in there with 3 more doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Now all we're going to do is go to every chain 3 space, every one of them that's left, and work 3 double. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, and then 3 double. So each chain 3 space gets 3 double, chain 3, 3 double. Just like that. And then you jump to the next chain space. I'm just going to go ahead and stay with you guys. Work your 3 double, 2, 3, chain 2, go back in there with your 3, jump to your next chain space, 3 double, 1, 2, 3, chain 3. I just realized something. I only chained 2 right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, I only chained 2 right here. Chain 3, 3 double. All right, jump to the next chain 3, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double. And jump to that last one, and we're going to work 3 double, chain 3, and go right back in there with 3 double. We're going to slip stitch to our first double, and you can see right there is the little slip stitch, the belt on our heart, which our heart is the chain 1, and then our first double. So slip stitch right into that first double. It's laying sideways, facing right at you. Okay, so that's round 2. And now what we're going to do for round 3, we're going to slip stitch to the next double, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work a double into that same one, a double into the next, and then now we're up to the chain 3 space, so we're going to work our 3 double, chain 3, go right back in there with 3 double. Now we're going to double into the very next. You may have to move your doubles that you worked into the chain 3. You may have to slide them over a little bit to see the top of that double. But we're going to double crochet in there, and double crochet into the next. And here's how we're going to work our valley. We're going to skip the next 2 and double crochet into the next and into the next, and we're to our chain 3 point. I'm tangled up. All right, so now we are going to we're working into our chain our chain 2 space. So we're going to work 3 double, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, go back in there with our 3 double, double crochet into the next 2, 1, 2, skip 2, which is our valley, and double crochet into the next 2. Now we're to our point. So we're going to work our 3 double, chain 2, go back in there with our 3 double, double crochet into the next 2 doubles, skip the next 2, double into the next 2. And now we're up to our next chain 3 space, so we're going to work our peak, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double. So I just about only worked a chain 2 right there, so I am going to stop and make sure I have chain 3s. Look, if you guys can hear that beeping, that's the business next to us. They have a forklift. I'll close that window in just a second. See, I only worked a chain 2 right there. I don't know why every time I do this, I have to repeatedly go back. Is it a chain 3 or a chain 2? Because I mess up all the time. 2 and 3. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop right here. I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to run and close that window so we don't hear that beeping anymore. Okay, we shouldn't hear it now. All right, so now I'm going to double crochet into the next 2 doubles. 1, 2, skip the next 2 for our valley, double crochet into the next 2. 1, 2. And we're in the chain 3 peaks, so we work our 3 doubles, chain 3, go right back in there with 3 doubles. All right, double crochet into the next 2. You may need to scoot your 3 doubles in your peak. You may need to scoot that over so you can see the top of the very first double. I'm going to double crochet in there, double crochet into the next, skip the next 2, double crochet into the next 2. 1 and 2. We're to our last peak. So we work our 3 doubles, chain 3, go right back in there with our 3 doubles, 1, 2, and 3, double crochet into the next 2 doubles, here and here. And then we already slip stitched into the next double crochet. So this one that we need to skip, like the 2 that we skip for the valley, we've already skipped that one. So we're going to skip this one and go right into the slip stitching into the first double. And that is right there. There's our chain 1, the little bitty one. And right there's our first double. So all we're going to do is just go straight to our first double and slip stitch. And now for the pattern I worked, I'm going to cut off. So I'm going to chain 1 and pull up a loop and cut. Now if you guys don't want to change colors, that's perfectly fine, but this is where my first color change starts. So I'm going to cut that. And now I want to talk about if anyone has problems, because basically what we're going to be doing is repeating what we just did. The only difference is the number of stitches we have before we skip for the valley. That's the only thing that changes, well, and the color change, obviously. That's the only thing that changes with the pattern is the number of stitches that we work before we skip the 2 for our valley. Now, having said that, I know some people have a little bit of a hard time knowing when to or where to skip your stitches. So I'm going to put this in my pattern to mark the 2 double crochet that are your valley. So that's the 2 double crochet. So, okay, so we skip 2, right? We skip these 2. And then if we come up a row, we have the 2 that's over the 2 that we skipped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark those. So mark the post. Just like that with a stitch marker. So we have our peak, we work 2, we come down to the valley, we skip the valley, so now our new valley is the 2 above it. So I'm just going to mark those 2. Here's my next 2 stitches. Here's my peak, the 2 double, we skip 2, work 2 double, so now the 2 double setting on top of the valley from round 2, I'm going to mark. I don't want to use red again. I'm going to mark. And you don't have to do this. I mean, I have something stuck in my throat. Get a drink. Okay, so like I was saying, you don't have to do this if you guys can, easily identify, because eventually when this gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're gonna really notice when you work down the side of your mountain and you get to your valley and it's gonna get really easy to see the 2 that you need to skip. But for some, I completely understand. You can just work right through that and not pay any attention to it. So that's why I'm gonna add mark the 2 stitches that are your valley now. I don't want another red. All right, so on this end, it's the double crochet right there, and then it's also the double crochet, and then right here we have a slip stitch and a chain 1. So make sure you get the double crochet too. So now you know these double crochets are the ones that we skip for the valley. Okay? All right, so I am going to get my variegated now, and we're going to move on to round 4. And I'm going to get a slip knot, make sure I have enough tail to weave in. And I'm going to go right into a chain 3 point with a slip stitch, chain 1, and I'm going to scoot that all the way to the side, and we're going to go over the tail and into that chain 3 with our 3 double. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, go right back in there with 3 double. 1, 2, and 3. So now we double crochet into each double until the valley. And I don't want to say a number of double crochet that you're going to work into until you get to the valley, because it's going to change. With every round it changes. I think it changes by 2. Let's see. Yeah, 3. No, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we had 3, and now we're at, no, we had 2, 1, 2, and now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. So every round is 2 before our skip stitches for the valley. Because on this row we had 1, 2, skip for the valley. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2 for the valley. All right, so we double crochet into the next. I'm still working over my tail. So I'm going to say double crochet into each double until the stitches that you need to skip for your valley. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to skip, skip, double crochet into each double until the chain 3 peak. Work your peak, which again is the 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, 2, 3. Scooch your 3 double peak over a little bit so you can see the top of that first double, and double crochet into each double until your valley. Now if I open it up, I can see these are the 2 doubles I need to skip for my valley. So skip, skip, double into each double crochet until the peak. Now into my peak, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, scoot it over a little bit so I can see the top of that first double. I'm going to double into each double until the 2 double crochet I need to skip for my valley. So if I open my work up, I can see here's the 2, skip, skip, double into the next double crochets until my next peak. Into the peak with 3 double, chain 3 and 3 double, double into each double until the 2 double crochet I need to skip for the valley. Skip the next 2, double crochet into the next double and into each double until my point. Into my point, my chain 3 point, work the 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, scooch that over in case you can't see the top of that first double crochet right there. See the top of it? Double crochet right into there and into each double until your 2 double crochet of your valley, which I unfold my work. I can see it's these 2, so skip, skip, double crochet into each double until we make it all the way, or make it to the beginning. And now we slip stitch to the first double. And that is the end of round 4. So round 5, we are going to chain 1, double crochet into the very first double crochet that we just slip stitched into, and double crochet into the next 2 doubles until we're 2. Now we should be at your point, your chain 3 point. So we are going to work our point, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, okay. So now, I think you guys can see by looking at it. Well, these purples might be a little dark. You may need to, it's totally up to you guys if you need to move your stitch marker up. Get that tail out of the way. I think it's yeah, like that, and you guys can see the whole how about that? Now you guys should be able to see pretty well this 2 stitches you need to skip for your valley, right? Right here and right here. So if I totally recommend just taking your stitch markers, moving them up, and grabbing the 2 stitches that are above, the 2 double crochets that are above your last valley, just like that. And if you don't need to, that's perfectly fine. It's no big deal. I just want to make sure everyone understands. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and move mine up. Here and here. Let's grab those 2. And this one. There we go. All right, so now we work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochet, then skip. So that, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's round 5. So round 4 we skipped, or I mean we worked 1, 2, 3, then skip 2. So for round 4 we worked 1, 2, 3. No, we worked 1, 2, 3, 4, then skip 2. So for round 5 we work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then skip 2. So it increases by 2 every round. But anyway, let's get started with round 5. So round 4 and 5 are the pattern repeat for the entire blanket. And we just double crochet into each double until our 2 double crochet of the valley. I'm going to stop and look to see where I'm at. All right, one more. Now I skip the 2 double crochet of my valley, double crochet into each double crochet until our next peak. Work our peak, 3 double, chain 3, back in there with 3 double. Now if you can see that first double crochet, you can't see the top of it, it's squished, right? So just scooch over those 3 double and the top of that pops right out. Double into each double until the 2 double crochet of our valley. Fuzzy. All right, unfold my work and I can see there's my 2 doubles that I skipped from my valley. Double crochet into each double until we get to our point. And then we work our point. 3 double, chain 3, right back in there with 3 double. All right, so double crochet into each double until the 2 double crochet of our valley. Skip the 2 double of your valley, double into each double. I thought that was a chain 2. I was going to say no, it's not. Double crochet into each double until your chain 3 point. Work your point, double crochet until the 2 double crochet of your valley. Skip your valley, double crochet to the point, and work that all around. And I will meet you when I get back to where I started, okay? I will be right back. Give me some slack. All right. Okay, so I've made it around. I skipped my 2 for my valley, double crocheted into the next 2, and now I have 1 more to double crochet into. And I slip stitch to the top of my first double, which is the one facing you. You can see right there, there's a little chain, and the bell on the heart, chain, the heart being the chain, the bell on the heart is a slip stitch. So we have slip stitch, chain 1, double crochet, slip stitch to that first double, and now chain 1, pull up a loop and fasten off this color. So now all you do is repeat 4 and 5. So round 4, you attach your, which in my case would be the purple, attach the purple into the chain 3 space with a slip stitch, chain 1, 3 double, chain 3, 3 double, double a crochet into each double until the 2 double crochet of your valley, which if you need to, move your slip stitch or your stitch markers up. Just like that. Skip the 2 double of your valley, double crochet into each double until your chain 3 point, work your point, come down, work a double into each double until your 2 double crochet of your valley. Skip those, double into each double. You guys get it, right? And if it bows up like that, like the purple wants to poke up like that, or I shouldn't say purple, your center color, don't worry about it. It comes out of it. Mine did the exact same thing. So that's it. Okay, you repeat rounds 4 and 5, and I highly, highly, highly recommend weaving in your ends as you go, because it is a huge pain in the butt to weave in all those ends. But so you repeat 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5, and keep going and going and going and going, and eventually you are going to have a big ol' star. It's all bunched up. I can't show it all. A big old star baby blanket. And it's stunning. It's very eye-catching. I love this baby blanket. One of my favorites. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to pause this and get this laid out so I can show it better. There we go. That's better. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. So this blanket is pretty easy. I mean, the hardest part, I would say, is making sure you have your stitches skipping for your valley. Losing track of those, it's going to be a pain. So I suggest, you know, if you have any problems with chevron blankets or ripple blankets or anything like that, just use the stitch markers. It's so much easier. And then once it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're eventually going to, those 2 double crochet that you skip for your valley are going to stick right out at you, and you're not going to miss them. But yeah, that's the hardest part, and weaving in all these ends. That's why I totally suggest doing them as you go. Okay, guys, so that's the end of my blanket tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said at the beginning, check out the description box. The link for the matching pillow and the matching baby dress and everything else is in the description box. The link for the paid pattern, the all of the social media that I post on, which I don't post very much on. I need to do that more often, but I'm trying, dang it. And then hit that thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. And so obviously, yes, please, please, please subscribe if you haven't. And then click the bell and then click all. So you get a notification for everything I post, okay? And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this heart? I love, or heart. Are you kidding me? Oh, Lord have mercy. This star. The star Afghan. This is my first star Afghan, and yeah, like I said in the intro, they're a bit of a pain. Anyway, you guys are the greatest. I'll see you in the next one.